Hello, hello, everybody. Just going to give everyone a little bit of time to come on. All right, here we go. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. I feel like saying happy birthday. I don't know why. Um, Maybe it's because we are down here celebrating. Well, the reason that we were here is we've got Scott's uncle's 70th birthday. So we're down here to celebrate his birthday on Saturday. Wang, happy birthday! So also that is George's favorite song at the moment. So whenever I feel like something happy is happening, I feel like singing happy birthday, just like how George reminds me there's so much joy whenever he sings that song. So it just makes me really happy. And today I really want to focus on talking to you guys about how we can find moment in our lives that will allow us to tap into more joy rather than stress and anxiousness, especially in this holiday season. There's so many things that we could do that we think perhaps we can't do, but you actually can. You actually can in order to support your own wellness. I think with anything, in order to keep our sanity, we actually need to focus on looking after ourselves first. And that is really for any parent out there, I truly believe, especially working parent, to learn the art of putting yourself first instead of everyone else is the number one priority. Because when I say this all the time on the show, when your tanks are empty, you cannot give anymore. Especially in a work situation, when you're empty at work, you will feel depleted, you will feel resentment, and then you're going to bring that same depletion and resentment home, which will then affect you as a parent, right? And then let's talk about all the subsequent effect. Um, as a classic example, when I see it all the time, parents who are stressed, who has got, I'm just gonna call them emotional issues because that's what they are. They're stressed, they're anxious, they are overwhelmed, and they looked for alternative means and coping mechanisms, which affects the way they work, and some of them really affects the performance, which then means that there's performance conversations happening at work, and some people end up having to lose a really good job or lose credibility or having to look for job elsewhere just because the situation has forced them to do so. So today, I really want to talk about something that I'm super passionate about. It's really about setting daily foundations, especially during the holiday seasons, just to support you as a working parent, so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed and drowning under stress. And let's just face it, like daily, I'm just gonna put it out there, right? Dealing with family members coming in can sometimes be super stressful. I actually posted something about handling babies and about child caring, and that was on my Insta page yesterday. And that came from a personal experience. Even for me as a mom, sometimes just looking at some parent, again, I'm not pointing fingers, but and that's what I said in the Instagram post, right? Sometimes we need to put our ego aside. And I'm very passionate about, you know, this whole, what's the word I'm looking for? This whole idealism about you have to breastfeed your kids. There are seriously, there are kids who lost their lives because parents insist on, because the mom insists on breastfeeding, or they were taught that breastfeeding is the only way, but isn't. For me, in order to raise thriving kids, it's making sure that they are fed nutritiously. And formula doesn't mean it's having formula doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? It's whatever it takes to give our kids the best opportunity in life, and that is allow them to sleep, allow them to be well fed, and you'll get a healthy child. Anyway, I have digressed. And you know how passionate I am about this misinformation around parenthood. And really, for me, part of creating the way back home is to bring out some of the misinformations and start talking about the truth. Okay, so what are we really going to talk about today? We are going to talk about all the little foundational tips and tricks that you can adopt this holiday season as part of your daily routine to help you feel more grounded, more anchored, more centered, less stressed, less anxious, and so you can be in the flow. Years ago, when I was doing a business mentoring course, my mentor used to say, "You want to strive. You want to strive to be in your flow state as much as possible." And flow state does not equate to no stress. You want a good, healthy amount of stress that will keep pushing you forward, giving you momentum, but not so stressed that you're in overwhelm, so you go into freeze or fly, right? So I'm going to share with you. I'm almost going to treat this like a mini course on how do we maintain balance and harmony and productivity during this busiest time of the year, right? Okay. So the first thing is about strategic energy management. Everyone always talk about managing your time, but I truly, truly believe our most precious resource is not time, it's our energy. And it's really funny because I was talking to Scott today and he's like, "I just need more sleep." And then, no, actually, what he said was, "I just need more time." And I said to him, "Actually, you don't need more time." He said, "Well, I need more sleep so I can have more time and energy." I'm like, "Well, no, you need to manage your health. So you get good quality sleep. And through good quality sleep, you get more time, right? It's the quality of our sleep. So when it comes to sleep, it's quality, not quantity. Have you ever had like the best sleep ever and you wake up early in the morning and you're like, "Oh my God, I still have so much energy, even though I only slept for a certain amount of time." Now, I'm not talking about the kind of energy from adrenaline, because sometimes you be excited about something and you're pushing through adrenaline, but that will crash, right? And this is why people call it adrenaline crash, because you will reach a point where you just crash. So that's not what I'm talking about. But you want to make sure that you've got the right diet, you've got the right supplementation, you've got enough exercise. And I truly believe in the magic of grounding and grounding mat. It's a great investment. My sleep quality has certainly improved after having our sleep mat. in our bed, remove all Wi-Fi, which is also important, and light, right? So it's really about finding out what will contribute to good quality sleep. And sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error, and document your sleep as well. So, and this is the link to energy audit, right? How do you, so now that you tracked your sleep and how you sleep better, the next thing is to track your energy during the day. Sorry, I have got a little bit of cold. I'm just going to grab some water. So for me, the energy audit is about identifying what times are you performing the best. For me, it's always the morning. Right? If I'm organized in the morning, if I already know what I'm doing and just literally hit the task running as soon as I get to work, that's my most productive time. After lunch, not so much. So what I do is I assign my tasks accordingly. I prefer to have meetings in the afternoon because that means in the morning I can do focus work. And the other thing also, I can't remember if we're covering today, is assign a day. So for me, I try to have meetings in the afternoon because I'm not productive in the afternoon and I don't need to do productive work if I got meetings in the afternoon, which means in the morning, I can do all the things that requires my focus, like reading documents and whatnot. So blocking off those times, or you can have a whole day with no meetings, which means that also there's no interruption. I actually love back-to-back meetings because that means I can get them done. If I can take the minutes on the go as well, which is a skill that I have to learn through experience, that allows me to be a lot more productive. Okay, the next one is ultra-drain rhythm mastery. What does that mean? Ultra-drain rhythm mastery. Genius AI actually helped me come up with this term, but it's essentially, it's like, you know, when you're on the treadmill, you go up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill. So you go up the hill, let's say for 5 minutes, and you come down the hill for 1 minute, up the hill, down the hill, that kind of thing. It's like that. That's why it's called ultra terrain. Okay. So what you do is you work in blocks. Now that you block out the time for focus work, you now program in your breaks. Now, what I do, I can't sit still sometimes, especially if I'm doing really boring work. So I would do every hour, I would do a 5 to 10 minute break. It might be a toilet break, it might be a stretch break, it might be a walking break, a water break. It doesn't matter. Right. So I make sure that I program in breaks because it allows you to move, allows your body to kind of get out of stagnation. It allows you to essentially get out of where you are and find ways to input more energy. But you also need to input more fluid. You also need to go to the toilet, right? And breaks are good in terms of reducing burnout. Okay, the next one is about digital detox. Okay, it's actually very important, especially now for me. Like I find if I'm in front of a screen for too long, my eyes get really hurt. So part of my screen strategy is wearing glasses, right? Blue light blockers are very important to me. So these glasses I actually got from Specsavers here in Australia. They put in a blue light blocker lens for me as part of my prescription, which I love. Again, the break strategy as well allows you to detox. So on a break, I recommend don't touch your phone if you can. I think on the last episode, I talked about, you know, having a break, but also get out and get some sunlight, get some grounding. And those are the times that you really shouldn't have your phone on you. I normally put them on the side, preferably as far as out of reach as possible, because of the EMF, because of the screen, because of all the things. Our phone brings us so much good stuff, but it also brings us a lot of not so good stuff, right? So I think daily digital detox is important. Um, some people do weekly detox where for the whole day they don't touch the phone. What I started doing also allows me to be a more conscious and present mom is whenever I'm at home with George, my phone is never on me. I don't put it in my pocket, I don't put it anywhere near me. If I can, it's at a charging station being charged or on a console where I can't reach it. And that allows me to be a more present mom. At nighttime, our phones are all out of our bedroom as well. So I think that's also important. Um, there's a couple of other ways that you could do it. There's a 20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away and for 20 seconds. So essentially practicing that long range. I think what would be better is whenever you're taking your break, your hourly break or 90-minute break, whatever is suitable for you, go outside if you can, or if you can't, at least stand in front of a glass window and look out. Right? Be in nature, be under the sunlight as long as you can, because it's actually doing you lots and lots of benefits. What I also do with my emails is I don't have my notifications, and I quite often I um, hide my Outlook just so I'm not constantly looking at emails. That allows me to focus and be more productive as well. Now, this is one of the other things that I do before I get into the office and before I go and pick up George. I have a transition time. And this is something I picked up on years ago, that I need downtime from work. So I need a transition time between my different hats. If it means that you have to physically pretend that you're putting off one hat and putting on another, do that. For me, it's more just sitting in my car. It might be scrolling through the phone. I just need a good 5 to 10 minutes. It's almost preparing my brain, my body, all of me to go, hey, we're about to transition into a different role. Let's put a different hat on. Let's put a different focus on, because what that allows me to do is a much more present person. Some days I'll do a meditation, a short meditation. Some days I'll listen to some music. Even just a slow walk to my office or sitting in a car for a little while before I go and pick up George. So I am prepared to go and pick him up. It may not, like, this might not even fall under like a detox module, right? But it just comes to me. It's almost like, yeah. So to me, my life lives in chunks. Right? I can see my schedule, and my schedule's in chunks. And I kind of need to give myself that break, give myself that mental preparation to go into this next role, because I wear many other roles, right? I wear many different hats, and I have many different roles. So that, incorporating that with some breathing exercises, I find it allows me to step into each of my role in my fullness. I'm not half-ass, half stepping into things. It's the same thing before I came onto a podcast. I need to set my intention and, essentially get myself centered, allow me to be more present. I've actually made notes today just because there's a lot to cover. So if you're seeing me live and I'm like referring to notes, you know what I'm doing. I just want to make sure I cover everything for you guys today, because I think some of these tips has helped me a lot, and I really want them to hopefully help you too. Okay, now here's the thing: leadership. You guys know leadership's one of my favorite topic, and sometimes during holiday seasons we lose it, right? But I think the most important thing is to understand, to see, and to embody this aspect of leadership. Is that I truly believe that leadership is never given, It's always taken. So, in order to become a leader, you need to see yourself as a leader. That's the most important thing. And believe it or not, because energies are infectious, and what you'll find is a truly good leader has a truly infectious leadership. So, I'm very mindful. I don't always step into my leadership because some days I actually don't require to be in my leadership, and that's when I'm a bit more laid back. But when I'm in a leadership role, I'm very mindful of what I say, my body language, my emotional intelligence, because it is important. Whatever you say, however you feel, it affects the next person sitting next to you. And I believe leading from that place, you automatically become a good leader, right? So, how do we be more organized in order to become better leaders? Again, blocking off time. It might be implementing no meetings on Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings or Wednesdays. It doesn't matter what time, but at least allow a time where your team can focus, or might even time out. How often do you get, I'm guilty, right? Often do you get you just want to talk to your colleagues? But are you being interruptive to yourself and to others? It might be that you might be better off, if you need to focus, find a meeting room or find a quiet corner in the office and just sit there and do your thing. Also, the other thing is, I think during this holiday season, what's very important is that we check in with our peers. You never know, like financially, some people might be struggling, especially during the holiday season, you know, or emotionally. They might be struggling because they've got a family challenge. They might be struggling because their family's not here. Whatever it is, just make sure you check in. They don't have to want to say anything to you or share their feelings, but at least showing that you care, and that goes a long way. Even if it's just like take them out for coffee or bring some home make bakings, talking about their weekend. Some people really appreciate that, right? I'm not a chit chat kind of person, but I am being more conscious these days to not just go, oh yeah, I'm fine. When people ask me, how are you? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good. We've done this and that. Because that gives people a window into you, but that also gives you a lead in terms of showing people that you're vulnerable as well. So they can trust you and share their vulnerability with you if they want to. It's essentially a way to connect. And I think when we're stressed and anxious and busy, we tend to forget that humanistic side of us. But the same thing, it doesn't have to be with your colleagues. What about with your kids? I saw this reel the other day and I really relate to it. Sometimes it's really just about letting your kids share all the things. They may not even make sense. There might just be a whole lot of imaginations and make believes. But those are the moments that you are able to tap into your kids' world. Those are the moments where they're reaching out and welcome you into their life. How beautiful is that? Like this morning, because I have to work, I actually got George to bring his toys up to the table and we're building timber houses whilst I'm working at the same time. Because I want him to be in a part of my world, and also I want to be a part of his world. I truly believe by being a greater parent, we're being greater leaders because kids teach us so much about leadership skills. And if we can learn to be present and be at peace and be calm with our kids, then we can be present and calm and at peace with our work. So I hope you enjoy all the tips that I've been giving. To me, this holiday season, I really, really want to support you guys and create a more calming and relaxed holiday season mood for everybody. And I hope it's working. So, if you are interested, throughout this holiday season, I will be running regular live sessions on my 5-day free event. It's called the Festive Family Zen Challenge. It's all about how we can create Zenness with our kids at home and at work to make it just, so much more peaceful. I think holiday season is actually all about peace and harmony. And I truly, truly believe by doing all these little practices and exercises and staying organized, we create more space. And by creating more space, we create more peace and harmony in our lives. So if you're interested in joining the 5 day free event, all the information are in the show note below. Just click on the link and that will bring you to our latest, I was going to say episode, but no, it'll bring you to the information page for the next available session or series of sessions. It's likely I'll run it every second week, and the first one is starting on Monday the 18th. So we have Monday the 18th, and then December 2nd, and I may or may not do another one just before Christmas on the week of the 16th of December. So that's me for today. Thank you so much once again for listening, and I look forward to chatting with you next time. Bye. Love you all. Have a marvelous week.